Okay, Genesis chapter 5. We're going to be doing that, and as usual, this is the NIV, the International Version of the Bible, and yeah, we're going to get into chapter 5 of Genesis, like I said. Alright, let's go. Alright. This is the written account of Adam's line. When God created man, he made him in the likeness of God. He created them male and female and blessed them. And when they were created, he called them man. When Adam had lived 130 years, he had a son in his own likeness, in his own image, and he named him Seth. After Seth was born, Adam lived 800 years and had over 8 other sons and daughters. Altogether, Adam lived 930 years, and then he died. When Seth had lived 905 years, he became the father of Enosh. And after he became the father of Enosh, Seth lived 807 years, and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Seth lived 912 years, and then he died. When Enosh had lived 90 years, he became the father of Kenan. And after he became the father of Kenan, Enosh lived 815 years, and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enosh lived 905 years, and then he died. When Kenan had lived 70 years, he became the father of Mahalalel. And after he became the father of Mahalalel, Kenan lived 840 years, and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Kenan lived 910 years, and then he died. When Mahalalel had lived 65 years, he became the father of Jared. And after he became the father of Jared, Mahalalel lived 830 years, and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Mahalalel lived 895 years, and then he died. When Jared had lived 162 years, he became the father of Enoch. And after he became the father of Enoch, Jared lived 800 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Jared lived 962 years, and then he died. When Enoch had lived 65 years, he became the father of Methuselah. And after he became the father of Methuselah, Enoch walked with God 300 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Enoch lived 365 years. Enoch walked with God. Then he was no more, because God took him away. When Methuselah had lived 187 years, he became the father of Lamech. And after he became the father of Lamech, Methuselah lived 782 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Methuselah lived 969 years, and then he died. When Lamech had lived 182 years, he had a son. He named him Noah, and said, "He will comfort us in the labor and painful toil of our hands caused by the ground the Lord has cursed." After Noah was born, Lamech lived 595 years and had other sons and daughters. Altogether, Lamech lived 777 years, and then he died. After Noah was 500 years old, he became the father of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Alright, well that was Genesis chapter 5. Now I was thinking about this. These people living like 1,000, almost nearly like 500 to 1,000 years. And I'm like, damn, bro, that's crazy. Back then, like way back then, that happened. That's crazy, man. To be honest, I wouldn't even want to live that long. To be honest, like that's a long time. Like I feel like at some point you probably just get tired of life. Unless of course, even if your purpose in life, you have a purpose in life, like serving God as a great example. You'd want to go to heaven at some point and be with the, because that's the idea, is that I only have to remain on this mortal in this mortal world for so long, and then after that, assuming that I've done things right, and the Lord has favor in me, what's it called? I can go to heaven and be with Him and serve Him for all eternity. and stuff like that. I mean, to be honest, even 1,000 years compared to eternity is kind of short. It's like really short if you think about it. That comes back. I guess it all comes back to the idea that really comforts me is that no matter what, happens in this mortal world, it's all finite and it's all going to come to an end. But unlike, say, like an atheist, for example, as far as I know, that or people that believe that nothing happens when we die, it's all just there. It's just everything's gonna go away and that's it, and there's nothing else beyond the afterlife. I'm like, well, that's kind of depressing. And what reason do I have to conform to any laws if the world is just fine? The world is just fine, and there's no higher power to actually establish rules. If rules are just established by man, why should I follow them? As I am a man also. I'm no there's no divine being. If there's no higher power, then like what's the point? Like what's the point of going on? Just to preserve the next generation or whatever, in a world that's just going to end anyway. So, but at least with God and Christianity and stuff like that, I know other religions have this idea. You have as far as I know, you have like the Islam or whatever. That's like 72 virgins and all the other stuff. They have their own afterlife and the idea of what the afterlife is and stuff. But for me, I chose Christianity because I believe that's the true religion and stuff like that. And it's very comforting to me that I don't have I have something to look forward to after I die, because otherwise everything is meaningless. So yeah, just a thought. And I know you could say, well, you only believe just because of your desperation for a purpose and stuff like that. And maybe that is a factor, but maybe there is some truth to that. But either way, I have felt like the Spirit has been in. I have felt like there is a Spirit, some like the Holy Spirit or whatever, has made an impact on me and stuff like that. And I feel like there really is a God and stuff like that. So I'm just gonna keep rolling with it, and stuff like that. And yeah, I just wanted to give that thought out in this video. I'll catch you guys later as I read this on a 3 a.m. Whoa, Thursday morning. Alright, anyway. Not that matters. Alright, but whatever. I'm just rambling. Anyway, yeah. Stay tuned for I think was that chapter 5 or 6 that I just read? Okay, it was 5. Okay, I need to do chapter 6 and then I'm chilling for the week. Oh, at least for today. Because yeah, one chapter a day and then okay. I'd already read chapter 6 a little bit ago before this video so that I could so I could do it, because today's verse is Genesis chapter 6, or today's assignment is Genesis chapter 6, and I had to read it myself. Like I said, I have to read it myself before I read it on camera, just because I want the personal connection I feel with God whenever I read it on my own. First, I want that to really soak in. So, because this part is reading it on camera and posting it. That's kind of like a minute, like the ministry part, or like and stuff like that, where I'm trying to spread the word and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, see you for Genesis chapter 6. Check out the playlist that's in That's another the little cards, the cards that show up in the beginning of it. The card that shows up in the beginning. It's the link to the playlist. Yeah, that's it.